My name is Geraldine Booker Brown, and I'm going to be doing a session from Proverbs, the third chapter, verses 1 through 8. In this chapter, I'm hoping that we will learn about being wiser. We will learn Proverbs of Solomon. Proverbs meaning wise words. Okay, according to our Christian faith, wisdom begins with the fear of the Lord and means to have reverence and respect for God and His teaching. It refers to a positive Christian attitude with, with obedience and a healthy fear of the Lord. Always know that you are in the presence of a holy, just, almighty, and loving God. Proverbs collected 3,000, Solomon collected 3,000 proverbs. Proverbs meaning the wise words, words of wisdom. And the book of Proverbs contains many of these wise words, these proverbs. This book teaches us how we should live and explains the way of wisdom. It warns us about being foolish. Um, a wise person honors God, and God protects him. A foolish person refuses to obey God. There are many dangers for such a person. The book of Proverbs explains these dangers. I will read the chapter of Proverbs 3, 1 through 8. So first, let us pray. Father God, I thank you for these words. I thank you for your lesson that is being taught. I thank you for the opportunity to be able to teach it. I ask you to take over, move me out the way, and let me say what it is you want to say. In Jesus' name, amen. Chapter 3, Proverbs. My son, forget not my laws, but let thine heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. Be not, it shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones. Honor the Lord with thy substance and with the first fruit of all thine increase. And may the Lord add a blessing to the reading and hearing of his word. Okay, as I said before, a wise person honors God, and he has respect for God and obedience for his word and instruction. Solomon teaches about four things here, four types of people. Each of you should benefit from Solomon's wise words in this lesson. The first person that Solomon talks about is a simple person. A simple person, we should not call someone simple, first of all. We might offend them. They would think that we're supposing him to be stupid. The book of Proverbs, a simple person is someone who is not wise. By the word simple, Solomon means more than this. A simple person has not learned to be wise, so he is in danger. Evil people can easily lead them to do evil actions. But nobody is really good but God. Everyone does things that they regret. Have you ever done anything that you regretted? Well, let me tell you something I did that I regret. I regretted that I did not finish my college courses when I was younger. I regret that I regret that I didn't start teaching in the ministry earlier. I did teach Sunday school at an early age. Let's say I was around 15 years old. And this was done in the South. So I did learn a lot and had to study a lot about the Bible. I am now teaching what we call a Smarties class at the church. So anyway, I'm teaching this subject now. It's on wisdom. So anyway, let's get back to simple person. Okay, someone can lead this simple person to do evil things because they are not wise. Uh, Wisdom is the principal thing the Bible says. So therefore, get wisdom. And all right, get it, understand. God wants the simple person to learn wisdom. This begins when we invite God in our lives. Then God will help us to become wise. We must grow in wisdom, and we must grow in the knowledge of God. I looked up the word simple in the Encyclopedia Dictionary. Defines simple as um, able to be able to be done or understood quickly or with a little effort. So that is what the Encyclopedia Dictionary defines simple as. Okay. In this way, relate to the subject. In this way, children can learn to be wise. We teach children to be wise. In verse 1 of chapter 3, Solomon is teaching his son to be wise. He said, my son. When you say mine, you think of things like my car, my house, my shoes. It's something that belongs to you. This son belonged to Solomon. So Solomon is saying, my son, listen to forget not my laws, but let thine heart keep my commandments. So he's teaching his son to be wise. We all teach our children, and we expect them to listen to what we're teaching them. Say, for instance, they're getting ready to go to school. You teach them to look both ways before you cross the street. You teach them to not talk and go off with strangers. You teach them to listen to the teacher and write their lesson down and bring it home so you can study. Are there things that you taught your children to do that they did not do? Okay, sister, such a way. Anyway, getting back to the word, this is this is some of the proverbs that Solomon is teaching his son, some of the wisdom. He's instilling into his child. And we should instill wisdom into our children while they're at a young age. They can learn. Okay, I remember that the simple person, okay, God wants a simple person to learn wisdom. This begins when we invite God into our lives. Then God will help us to become wise. We must grow in wisdom, and we must grow in the knowledge of God. Okay, children learn to be wise. In the future, when problems come about, they will know the right things to do. For the same reason, we should learn Bible verses today. We should teach them to our children. In this way, we can learn true wisdom. Many things in the world change today. There are new inventions, for example, there's television, there's internet, there are new illnesses, for example, there's cancer, diabetes, arthritis, there are AIDS, there are revolutions and new governments, but wisdom does not change. Solomon gave advice that is still good today. He wrote wise words, and they are still wise today. Today, young people will grow old. Wisdom will teach them now. The wisdom that we teach them now will remain for them, will remain with them a long time. Okay, the next thing was Solomon taught the young people. The book of Proverbs is a poetic book. Some poems are short and others are long. There are different styles and different meanings that grows and develops from line to line, which we call revelation knowledge. Okay. Wisdom can expose evil and give you discernment of another person's way. Okay, we're going to read verse 2 of Proverbs, the 3rd chapter. Verse 2. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. You will be at peace when you learn wisdom. Wisdom comes from God. God said, acknowledge him in all thy ways, and he will direct thy path. So we should ask God when we get ready to do something. You know, Lord, I was going to buy a car once. I didn't know which car, all the beautiful cars that were in the parking lot, I did not know which one to choose. I asked the Lord, Lord, will you help me choose the right car for me so I can use it, for your goodness and to sometimes help your people if I can. Would you help me to choose the right car for me? So they had Forte, a Kia Forte, and that is the car I picked out. I've driven that car for 5 years. I've had no flats. I've had no accident. Praise God. Thank you, Jesus, and hallelujah. That is a good riding car. So I thank God for that. So we should acknowledge God. But this will add length of days to your life. Who do not want to live a long, healthy, and enjoyable life? I know I do. So that is what verse 2 of Proverbs is talking about. Also, fathers taught Proverbs to their sons, mothers taught them to their children, grandchildren learned from their grandparents, children had to use their mind, they had to think, and they would be tested by their parents to see what they had learned or what they knew already or what they took in. So that's what the teaching was about. Now the wise person also, a wise person loves wisdom. He loves God's law. He is always thinking about it. Psalms 1 and verse 2. Let's turn our Bibles to Psalms 1 and verse 2. Psalm 1 says, and we will read in verse 2. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law does he meditate day and night. This is the book of the Holy Bible. This is God's law is in this book. This book, if you read it, it will give you wisdom. These words are alive, and they're a mirror to your soul. If you read them and meditate on them, you can see yourself in some of these stories and parables and proverbs that are told. So, we thank God for that. Now, to continue on with Proverbs chapter 3. The next verse says, let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thy heart. Okay. And the Jewish priest would wear what we call something like ephod on their neck when they would go to, can you see this? When they would go to pass it around so others can see it. When they would go to acknowledge God, for the people to get an answer, to ask God about something, maybe should they go to war, should they not go to war? Maybe should they make this person king or should they not make this person king? They would acknowledge God. And they would have to wear their ephod to go into the presence of the Lord. Today, we are in the presence of the Lord. So, therefore, we would try to do wise things, things that honor and please God. Okay, we can all grow in the knowledge. The Bible teaches us God's will. The third thing Solomon taught was to the intelligent person. Do anyone know what the word intelligent means? Yes. Okay. Intelligent means someone that is learned, a smart person. Okay. Those are pretty good now. The intelligent person also wants to learn wisdom. And he will ask for advice. He is trying to understand God's way. As he studies, he will know more. He will even understand difficult words of wisdom. Respect God. Knowledge begins with respecting God and honoring God. Fool hates wisdom and discipline. Respect. When you learn English, you start your children off with a simple word like cat, dog, rat, house, car. And in learning wisdom, it takes time. It takes time to teach children to grow up to be wise. It takes time to learn wisdom as adults for ourselves. But if we study, we and learn, and we can be wise. The first lesson in wisdom is that we must respect God. He made everything. He is greater than we are. We must give honor to him. Okay? A person who does not know God thinks he may be clever. Clever meaning shrewd, astute, smart, scheming, and knowing. He may have many skills. We can learn many things from him. Such a person lacks something that is very important. He has learned many lessons, but he has missed the first lesson, and that is wisdom. Wisdom begins when a person fears and respects God. We should try to show a better way to that person. The third verse is, let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neighbor, write them upon the tables of thine heart. Okay, I showed you the picture of the ephod. Therefore, when we wear necklaces or crosses or something like that, we put them on our neck, and as a symbol to keep us reminded that Jesus died on the cross, and he died for our sins, so we can go to him and acknowledge him for forgiveness, ask him to forgive us of our sins. Now, these wise words are telling him to keep these inside, keep these in your heart, keep these words and truth in your heart. Let not mercy, kindness, and mild mannerism, let not those forsake thee. Don't let them get away from you. Keep them with you when I go in and when I come out. In verse 4, so shall thy find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. Okay, we all want people to like us. We all want our children to like us. We all want to find favor with God. And as we say, wisdom is the principal thing, to find favor with God, to fear the Lord and honor and respect for his word and being obedient to him. Okay, verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thy own understanding. Okay, trusting in the Lord with all thine heart. This is a great dependency for men and women to depend on their own understanding. There's a great tendency that people depend on their own understanding of the word and their own assumption of what the word means. They'll put their complete confidence in their opinion and reasonings and feelings and schemes and plans, impulses, and rather than in the Lord and in his word. They say trust in him. Okay, when we get in our car, we're trusting to get where we're going. We have faith that we're going to get what we're going in our car. But the trust and faith should not be put in the car. It should be put in the maker of the car, and that maker is God. It should be put in the creator of the car, and that creator is God. Okay, so as Christians, we must be practicing believers by really committing ourselves to Christ and his word. We should not be selective in our trust of the Lord. We may trust God with regards of issues of eternity. We may trust God with regards to issues of eternity, but we don't trust him with the issues of everyday life. In other words, we trust God to get us to heaven and save us, but we don't trust God as we wake up and go through the morning and through the day, that he's there with us, and that if we have a problem or situation arise, we must trust God to handle that situation and that problem as Christians. Okay? Now, in all thy ways, acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Okay, I think we hit on that. So ask God before you get ready to do something or make a big decision or make a big choice. Ask God, what should you do about those things? And wait for him to tell you what to do. Okay, do not be wise in your own eyes. Wait a minute, you skipping the verse. Right. Be not wise, verse 7. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. It shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones. Okay. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil. This will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones. If a person have the two most important, if a person could have the two most important strengths of character, it would be mercy and truth. Okay. Um, God will write his laws in verse, in chapter, um, in Philippians, wait a minute, okay, he's not wise in our own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. It should be healthy like that, your mouth, your mouth. Yeah, we all want to be healthy, and we all want to have our bones strong, and marrow that the marrow that keeps the bones strong, and that God strengthens. It comes through the marrow, and it's meant the days and health. Good health will be added to thee when you learn wisdom and do it. Okay, we should listen to wisdom. Wisdom is beautiful and it is a valuable commodity. To possess it is like a crown on your head, or it's like a gold chain around your neck. Some people imagine that they know a quicker way to improve their lives. Solomon warns about such people, verses 10 and 19. They offer friendship, verses 14. But their friendship cannot last because their plan is evil. They offer rich rewards, verse 13. But they will suffer a terrible fate, verse 19. Wisdom is much better than any evil plan. The strength here is in marrow. Marrow is a substance that feeds the inner parts of the body. If your bones is not strong, if they're weak, then you're not able to function as you would normally would in a person with healthy bones. God is promising physical well-being for those who live wisely according to his will. Such physical well-being is what David forfeited before he confessed that he had sinned against Bathsheba and Uriah. Many illnesses are brought on by sin, as we said before. Not all illness, but some. Good, clean living seems to assist in good health. For sure, good, clean living brings a clear conscience and no regret. It helps the spirit of man become healthy, and it helps with physical health as well. The rewards of wisdom. I will speak about the rewards of wisdom. If we respect God, we should become wise. God gives wisdom to us. We are his people, and he guides us. He defends us, and he protects us. Psalm 23 compares God to a man who owns sheep. The Lord is my shepherd. That is where it begins. The farmer looks after his sheep. He provides their food and water. He cares about them. In the same way God looks after and cares about us. Okay? When we are in danger, God protects us. God's wisdom will teach you what is right. You will understand how to make good decisions. You will see what is fair. You will walk in good paths. Wisdom will enter your heart. Knowledge will be a pleasure for your mind. Right decisions will protect you. The things you have learned will guard you. Wisdom will save you from evil men. Wisdom will save you from their evil words. Evil men lead the right road. They walk down dark paths. They love to do wrong things. They are glad to do evil things. They choose the wrong path. Their way is wrong. And now the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments. But this is the whole duty of man. And that ends my teaching session. I'm teaching the scripture, Proverbs 3, 1 through 8. Now we will pray, and we will dismiss the class. Let's bow our heads. Our Father, we thank you for your word. We ask that you put your words in our heart and write your laws in our mind. Put your laws in our heart and write your words in our heart too. Father, we thank you for this day. Thank you for the opportunity to bring forth your word. Thank you that something will be said and received to help us become more wise and to get into your word, to study it, to learn more of you. And I ask you now, Father, Lord God, bless each and everyone here under the sound of my voice, and that they will have a great, great year and many good days ahead, long life and good health. We give you praise, glory, and honor for it. In Jesus' name, amen. That's